Hey everyone, welcome back to 100 Days of Coding React and Redux. And in today's video, we are going to do the planning for our note-taking application. So planning is all about, dividing your application into small components because React is all about components, right? So we need to create different components. Then we are going to plug in all those components together to build our app. So I have the mockups ready here. So I'm going to use my tools to divide this application into small components. So the first and straightforward component I see here is this component, which will be our note component, right? Where we are going to show the note title and the note text. And inside that component, we are going to have the edit button and the delete button for deleting the note. So maybe I'm going to give this as a name of a node component, right? So this will be our node component. So I'm just going to name it something like this. The next component that I see, and that will be the straightforward one, will be this add new node component, right? So let's have this component also name. So this component is going to have two different text inputs. One will be for the title and second one will be for the text for the node, and there will be a button inside that. So add new node. So I'm going to give this a name of, let's give it a name of new node. Okay. So this will be our new node component. The next one, which I see, will be this one, right? So when I'm going to click on this edit note button, right, we're going to have a separate form for editing the note. So to edit the note, I'm going to create this separate component, which probably I'm going to call edit note. So let's grab this one. So like this, and let's give it a name of edit note. Looks good, right? So we're going to have three different components, and all of these components are going to go inside the app component, right? So we have a note, new note, and edit note. So this is the initial planning which I'm doing right now. There is a possibility in future you might need to change a little bit, not like, I wouldn't say this is more like 100% planning. This is like we did 80% of planning right now. And tomorrow, say, suppose I found more components, right? So probably I can add those components also. So uh, coding any application in React or any other technology, right? It's more of a iterative process where we plan something, we build something, and later on we might see some of the changes coming in, right? And based on those changes, we replan or rewrite our code or reinvent the components based on the changes or based on the planning. Okay, so these are all the components that probably I'm going to need in the note-taking app for now. Let's write all of these components one by one in our application, and then we will start building all these components in detail. So now I'm inside my Visual Studio Code, and you see the application, right? So what I did, I have added this index.html file where we have this React and React DOM related code where I'm just rendering the nodes, this title here, this h1. Now I'm going to build different components for the note-taking application. So for that, I'm going to create a new folder. So let's name it components. So this will be our folder. Inside that, we are going to put all our components. So first one will be the app.js, where we are going to have the entire application. And then probably we can look into the other component which we have planned, right? So let's write scaffold the application also, right? So function, this is going to be app, just a normal JavaScript function. Will be our component. And here inside this, I'm going to write the nodes. So this is what I'm returning. Finally, I'm going to export my app component as default. So I'm going to create separate files. Actually, I'm going to copy this code from here and let me create different files first. So inside this, we are going to have the node.js. This will be for our node. There will be a separate component for editing the node, right? So let's call it edit node.js. And another one will be add node.js for adding a new node. Now let's put some default JSX inside all of these components. So first I'll start with node.js. I'm going to just copy and paste, change the name to node, and this one will be node. So node, save. Next one is add a node, right? Paste, add node, add new node, and let's export the component. And finally, the last one is edit node. So edit node, and export the component. Save. Now I have all of my components, right? Let's plug them into our app. So I'm going to import all of the components here. So I'm going to, okay, import. So first I need the node. Next one will be editing the node, right? So I'm just going to bring in all the components for now, but probably I don't need the edit node component now. And the last one will be our add node component from add node. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in all these components here. So let's create a div, and inside that div, I'm going to have different components like node. I'll put a node. I'll put edit node also. Later on, I'm going to hide it. So for now, just I'm trying to assemble the application and then add node. Okay, so if I save, you won't be able to see anything because I haven't incorporated my app inside index.js. So here I need to import my app component, app from components app, and finally I'm going to put the app here. Cool. So now if I save, you should be able to see the node, right? And we'll reset to 100%. So node, we got a node. Hold on. I need to resize it. We got a node, edit node, and add new node. So we have created separate component for our application, right? And we have assembled all of those components together. So as a next step, we are going to build these components step by step, one by one, right? So I wanted to cover one topic in one video, so I'm going to stop here. I'll see you in the next part of this application, this series, where we'll start building this application step by step. So we did a planning, right? And we have created the components. We have assembled all those components together. Let's meet in the next video where we are going to build this application further. Until then, you take care, goodbye, and thanks for watching the video.